here. I mean it. It was like a 13-hour trip from North Carolina. I could have gone to Australia in less time. So I am glad to be here. And some of you are probably thinking, well, she doesn't talk Southern. I'm actually from Wisconsin. Do you have anybody from Wisconsin or North Carolina? No? You don't come to these things? It was kind of interesting. I don't know if any of you live in the South, but they've kind of been infested by the North. I have to tell you, I was speaking when I first moved there about 13 years ago. And I think it was a women's conference. And there was a Southern woman that went up to the Northern woman and in her sweet, hospitable way said, "Where are y'all from?" And the Northern woman, I think from Connecticut, said, "In the North, we do not end our sentences with a preposition." Southern woman said, "Let me rephrase that. Where are y'all from, witch?" And that was my introduction to the South. That was my introduction to the South. When I was a child, my mother said, if you choose to be a soldier, you'll be the general. If you choose to be a priest, you'll be the pope. Instead, I became a painter. My name is Picasso. And what I want to share with you today is really how to discover the Picasso in you, but also how to identify it, explore it, discover and develop it in those students that you associate with and that you serve. Because one of the reasons I've written a lot of my books, one is Why Cats Don't Bark. And interestingly enough, it includes some Harvard research that between the ages of around, 3 to 7, 8, 9-ish, we reveal our calling in life. And I'm going to tell you, everyone is here for a reason. You're not on this earth by accident. You have a purpose, a meaning, a mission. For some of you, it may be more global. For some of you, it may be more contained. It might be with just in your home. It may be the student on the bus. But I am telling you, you are not here by accident. Everybody comes with kind of a rubber stamp. Well, interestingly enough, I then wrote a book called Winning, How Winners Think What Champions Do. And what I discovered is that all these people that I interviewed, CEOs, Olympians, artists, Jack Canfield, Chicken for the Soul, people who have climbed higher mountains. And they all seem to have one thing in common, and that was that they had a flash of greatness at an early age. And from that, you can kind of see how my life just evolves. I developed a character building program called I Believe I Can Fly, so that those children who don't spontaneously have that flash of greatness still have the opportunities, equal opportunities in life. Because, in fact, we only use about 7% of our potential, and the more research that they do on it, it seems to be only 5%. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. If I offered you a dime, or actually a nickel, we only use about 5%. If I offered you a nickel or a dollar, what would you take? Of course, I mean, give me a break. But you know what? Think of it this way. If we're only using this much of the dollar, there's not a lot of difference. So when you walk out of here today, I want you to really unleash your power zone, that other 95% of untapped potential. And what I want you to do is take one step further and be a trigger, be a catalyst to ignite it in those that you come in association with. And I'm looking particularly at the students. Now, when we're looking at potential, and I hate to think of the lost potential, I am very concerned about the dropout rate in this country. Are you guys aware of what it is? It's pretty bad. Do you know that in some of our cities, I think it's including Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our nation's capital, it's about 50%. Are you aware of that? We have 2 million jobs in a bad market. Guess what? There is nobody in this country that is trained to fulfill them. 2 million jobs. There is a crisis. So I want to talk a little bit about the crisis. I want to talk a little bit about the challenge. And then I want to talk a little bit about the change. Now, the overall average is more like 25 to nearly 30% dropout rate. And isn't it interesting? We have fewer people graduating than in countries where it is illegal for women to get an education. There is something wrong, and I want you to kind of take it seriously. But we're going to have some fun along the way.